Okay. Let me just wait for everything to pop up here. Wow. Wow is all I have to say. Come on, where are you? I know you're here somewhere. Don't mind me, I'm just looking for the chat. Just looking for the fucking chat because I lost the chat and YouTube Studio Beta sucks. To say the least. Okay. There's the stream. Give me the chat, please. Giveth meeth theeth chatteth. This is all I ask of you. God. I apologize for my unprofessionalism. This should have been prepared, but I was too frazzled before, and I am much too frazzled now. Okay, good. Nobody's even here. Thank God. Whew. Okay, let me just pop this out real quick in case anybody does show up, just to be safe. Okay, get that going. Just tweet that out. Okay, Facebook. Facebook, please. Okay. We can close that. We can do that. And the chat is popping out a little bit. Let's shrink that down. Move that over. Okay. Sorry for the nearly 2 minutes of not talking about the movie. All right. Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Was it bad? Fucking no. Not even close to being as bad as some of these Rotten Tomato reviewers and even some of these YouTube reviewers. It is nowhere near, not even close to being as bad as a lot of them said. The main thing I want to address firsthand is the human characters. The human characters have been getting a lot of flack. They've been called very two-dimensional. They've been called very thrown together. To which I really need to ask, did we watch the same movie? Where were those comments for Godzilla 2014? Yeah, they were there, like people were complaining about them, but to be completely honest, I think the characters in Godzilla King of the Monsters were a bajillion times better than that, and I cared about them. I cared about what happened to them, and I really don't see it. I do not see the problem with the human characters whatsoever. Is the story ridiculous? Of course. The whole... Oh, wow, I was just about to spoil something. My bad. How do I put... The original take of the story, where the story was originally going to go within its runtime. Yeah, that was pretty freaking ridiculous, but in... Fuck, I'm sorry, my brain is just frazzled right now. Yes, it was ridiculous, but characters gave their explanations why they were doing this. They were showing examples of why this could possibly work, and to be completely honest, I didn't have a problem with that. They showed their work, so to say. It wasn't just this random bedazzlement of stupidity like a lot of people said it was going to be. And then eventually, when the story starts cooking and everything starts, kicking into high gear, the story is very Godzilla. The story is exactly what I expected. What these critics, what these reviewers were actually expecting blows my mind because I can't for the life of me. Wow. I cannot for the life of me even grasp what they were getting at. Oh, wait, the chat is going. What's up, chat? How you doing? Hello. Three Stooge Dora. I was asleep, but now I'm awake. Well, welcome to the stream. I basically just covered not hating the human characters. I think the critics and the reviewers were a little bit too critical on all of that. The story is ridiculous, but it's perfectly fine for a Godzilla movie, both in how it started and in how it ended. Now, the monster battles. The monster battles was... They were so beautiful. I was sitting with my row of friends in the theater, giddy, sweating because they didn't have the AC on. I had my hands on my face. I was looking through my fingers. I was crying at a couple of parts. It was beautiful. Oh my God. Seeing Godzilla and King Ghidorah and Rodan and Mothra and all of them going off in their separate ways and eventually meeting in the middle. It was so beautiful. It was so much fun. Oh, and just to say this now, people in the chat, no spoilers, please. This is a spoiler-free review. I would like to keep the chat spoiler-free as well. And I apologize if I stutter or if I stop in place. I'm still like trying to come down from the hype right now. Again, I really do not see where all of this negativity is coming from. The characters are bland and you don't care about them. I didn't think they were bland, and I cared about the candlelit vigil for everybody that's lost their life during a moment like this. No. So whoever even said that on Rotten Tomatoes, just like, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry. Now, I will say this. It's perfectly fine to have a problem with the human characters. If you didn't like them, you didn't like them. That's perfectly fine. But me sitting there, me and all my friends, we liked the characters. We had fun with the characters. Holy God. We did see a lot more monsters in this movie than I thought we were going to, aside from the major four, Godzilla, Ghidorah, Rodan, and Mothra. A lot of those aforementioned 17 monsters, they do show up. Not all of them, but a good decent-sized chunk of them. One of them was actually really surprising. And there was a moment towards the end of the movie that's just, but if you haven't seen the movie, go see the movie. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about. You can come back to the comment section. We could talk about it then and there. Maybe like 2 or 3 weeks after that. If I can't get my point across any further that I love this movie, that I enjoyed this movie, that I think this movie is exactly what it needed to be and is exactly what was televised in all the trailers, here it is again. I think it's all of that. The apocalyptic setting and feeling that the trailers are giving off isn't like super duper present throughout the movie, but there was a sense of dread. There was an obvious sense of loss, like massive loss. But at the end of the day, we knew Godzilla wasn't going to go anywhere because he's got to fight Kong next year. And that's another thing that I can't talk about. Yeah. So, human characters. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the human characters. If you've seen a Godzilla movie, you know these characters. You know them pretty dang well. The monster action was beautiful. It was like it was choreographed and etched into the stone temple tablets by God himself. They are everything they need to be. The story starts off ridiculous and it ends kind of more ridiculouser, but that's what it needed to be. We're talking about Godzilla fighting a 3-headed fucking dragon with wings and a club tail. And his best friend is a giant moth. And Rodan's a fucking asshole. Yeah, Rodan is very much the Falco from Star Fox. If anybody's played Star Fox, that is Falco. Yeah. People don't get it. If you want more serious, just watch Shin or 1954. That is very correct, Tochi no Masuta. I'm sorry, I'm terrible with names. Yeah, the Godzilla King of the Monsters is not 2019 Godzilla KOTM. It is not a movie that was ever meant to have this serious undertone. It wasn't meant to have these seriously written characters with story arcs and, coming to terms with this, that, and the third. This was marketed as a monster romp. That's what we got. Would you say that the movie universe could utilize monsters like Mechagodzilla or Jet Jackman in the future? In my last stream, I said I wouldn't want Mechagodzilla in the Monsterverse because I feel it'd be too much. But with how this movie ends, the way it sets things up, yes, I definitely do think Mechagodzilla could operate within the universe after a couple of movies, after some major time skips even. I don't know about Jet Jaguar, but, you know, if you have a mechanized clone of Godzilla, I'm pretty sure a robot that can shrink and grow tall can do the same. I'm not satisfied with the length of the monster action. That's fine. I saw everything I wanted to see. Yeah, I mean, when it comes to a Godzilla movie, you can always say, I could have more monster battles. And by all means, Godzilla vs. Kong is coming out not even a year from now. It's shorter than a year, I think. Yeah, March. It's May, so it's the last day of May. But yeah. What would I rate this movie? Okay, well, I don't want to give a rating just yet because I'm still coming down from the hype. I'm still coming down from CZ 9 out of 10, even though I don't do 9 out of 10. So I guess in this case, it would be a 4.5 out of 5. The movie is not perfect. Yes, okay, that's another thing I could talk about. The movie absolutely has its flaws, but you're having a little bit too much fun to sometimes notice the flaws or to even give a shit about the fact, oh, that's a flaw. So, yeah. The movie isn't perfect. Godzilla movies aren't meant to be perfect. Currently rewatching G14, hoping that I can avoid spoilers for this movie, especially on YouTube. Don't worry, Alan, no spoilers here. 7 out of 10 for me, so many good things, but it just doesn't hit me like other Godzilla movies. That's perfectly fine. I'd like to watch it again. I really enjoy the movie the most for Ghidorah. Ghidorah was an extremely interesting character in this movie, and I emphasize character because these monsters had a lot of that. There was a lot of character between these monsters, and with Ghidorah, I don't know if this necessarily counts as a spoiler per se, but the way King Ghidorah acted, the way he interacted with himself, it was hilarious. It was awesome, and that's what I've always seen Ghidorah as. I think we should have an 8-hour-long Final Wars type movie for the finale of this series. It can be a pee break in between. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Final Wars, but then again, I haven't seen it in a while, so. But I would not mind seeing Godzilla go through the ranks. But just wait until you see KOTM. You'll understand when I say Final Wars isn't really a thing that could happen. You'll understand when you see it. I feel that Godzilla 2014 taking a more realistic approach to the movie was just awesome, but King of the Monsters doesn't seem to be doing that. Wait, hold on. I'm sorry, I need to reread. I feel that Godzilla 2014 taking a more realistic approach to the movie was just awesome, but King of the Monsters doesn't seem to be doing that. I mean, yeah, Godzilla 2014 was super, super, super duper realistic, but Godzilla King of the Monsters is doing just that as well. There is a lot of realism in there. It's just finding giant monsters beating the snot out of each other is never going to seem realistic. So, I don't know if I don't know. It's just the way that I look at it. When compared to 2014, the realism is still there. These monsters have such fantastic weight and such, like, you can feel the stomping of their feet. You can, everything. It's just as realistic as 2014 was. It's just, it has more monsters and there's just more monster action in it. Who said that? The Amazing Spider-Man fan 2014? That's what I have to say to that. Human-like serpentine cartoon villain that was horrifying and funny as hell along with his religious undertones. Yeah, Tywin Lannister. He wasn't in the movie as much as I wished he would be, but I think he's going to be making a return for Godzilla vs. Kong. Definitely stay for the credits, everybody. Will Destroyer return to the big screen? You know, God, I said I wouldn't get into spoilers, but something in this movie happens That feels like a light setup for Destroya. I will say that. There is something in this movie that happens during its runtime where it kind of feels like Michael Doug Hurdy was just saying, "Hey!" You know what I mean? All my messages shall have a spelling error. I love the movie. Hey, Fernando, how you doing? Yeah, I went to go see it with my friend Fernando. He's the Kylo Ren experience. My friend Jay, Andres, Danny, aka Downey, and Irving, who I actually just met today. What's going on? I seriously hope so. Imagine how demonic he would look. I'm telling you, I feel like Destroya might actually be being set up. It might just be me kind of like looking too deep into the Easter egg shell on that one. But let's face it, Destroya is definitely more of a nemesis than Ghidorah is. That's just a personal opinion of mine. Obviously, King Ghidorah is the ultimate nemesis, but yeah, whatever. Destroya makes sense for the universe. He's the perfect final boss. I agree. When you realize that seeing KOT... Gavin, we're trying to keep this spoiler free, but I'm pretty sure everybody knew everything about that anyway, so I'll let that one slide. But again, everybody, no spoilers in chat. Trying to keep it squeaky clean. I saw somebody ask if I was going to do a spoiler discussion, and I probably will sometime next week because I'm getting a late start next week to some of the content, so maybe I'll do a spoiler discussion on Tuesday. Just so I can give everybody time to go see the movie this weekend. It's all good, Gavin. Don't worry about it. I'll watch tomorrow. I wasn't interested with Ghidorah for a long time, but this movie made me love Ghidorah. Yep, there's my friend Jay right there. We saw the movie together. And he's not a Godzilla fan. Jay can tell you right then and there. He's not like super duper into the universe. And I looked over at him a couple of times and he looked like he was enjoying the shit out of this movie. The human-sized destroyers would be horrific during... Yeah, I agree. Slimortis F. Are there any original monsters in the movie? How likely do you think it is for there to be more original monsters in the universe going forward? Aside from the major four, you do see a lot of original monsters towards the end of the movie. And they honestly look really cool. They're all very different. They're not all, look at me, I'm Godzilla clone number 2, or look at me, I have wings and I'm a dragon. No, they're all really interesting and different original designs. So I like what I saw. Would I watch a movie solely like centered in on some of those monsters? Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. Yes. What else we got going on here? It's cool, Gavin. Mother does that a lot. Just don't spoil anything again. Yeah, again, everybody, limit on the spoilers. I don't think we're ever going to see Baggin. I think if we're going to see Baggin anywhere, it's probably going to be in World of Godzilla, and even that's a bit of a stretch, but I'm not going to deny seeing Baggin in a US Godzilla movie would be fucking nutty. Destroya dies in Endgame. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love Destroya, but I'd rather keep him as a Heisei finale monster. If he does end up showing, hey, that'll be cool. Godzilla 2014 version of the monster is my favorite version of the character. Did they change the character from the first movie, or is he the same? I mean, aside from the little subtle hints that we got of Godzilla's personality in the 2014 movie, he's essentially the same. It's just his appearance that's changed. Destroya is probably what Baggin became. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love Destroya, but I'd rather keep him as the haste. Okay, yeah, I read that. Don't mind me. I'm just going to have to reread that again because I'm dyslexic right now. There's a lot of B-listed kaiju that have only appeared in one movie that I personally feel, yeah, they deserve their one movie, but I also feel that now that we've gotten like 3 of the most popular monsters in the Godzilla series, I feel like, digging up some of the B-listers like Biollante, Destroya, Orga, and other kaiju, I definitely think that would be an interesting thing to see throughout the Monsterverse. And I am very confident that this movie is going to do well. Current predictions are at $230 million opening weekend. Knock on wood. Let's hope for the best. I definitely think there is massive amounts of potential for the Monsterverse. I really do, both with original monsters, Toho monsters, and Kong himself, depending on what happens next year. Mecha Rodan. The final trailer gave a few spoilers. Indeed, it did. But I completely forgot about everything I saw in the trailers because something happened. There's a lot of things that happen within this movie that are going to blow your fucking face out your ass. I'm just going to say that. That is for certain. Toho has too much mechas at their disposal. Well, they have Mecha Godzilla, all 4 versions of them. They have Mecha King Ghidorah. They have Mogira. Who else do they have aside from that? Fuck it, throw Showa Baggin in there. Does the movie show monster blood? I'm trying to think. I don't remember seeing a lot of monster blood, but I do remember seeing a lot of carnage, and I'll keep it at that. One guy on Rotten Tomatoes said King of the Monster was bad because it was a Godzilla movie. What the hell? Fuck that guy. He doesn't know what he's talking about. What if Godzilla King of the Monsters had a TV show for kids? That'd be hilarious, and I'd buy everything that came out with it. Let's just mechanize every monster. Sorry, man. I just really love Godzilla 2014. So as a huge fan of the first movie, will this movie, King of the Monsters, bring my eyes to tears like the first film did? Well, that's a tough question because I cried once or twice during this movie. And that's because I have such a deep connection to a lot of these characters. I don't know if it's going to make you cry like it did in 2014. I don't know if it's going to make you feel the way like it did in 2014 because 2014 was a setup for Godzilla. This is them having fun with the IP and keeping it grounded in the universe that they gave to us in 2014. They're 2 nearly different movies, so I honestly can't say that. You're going to have to go see the movie for yourself. Not as bloody as Godzilla bleeding out from Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla. Yeah, the characters, Godzilla, I would watch a Walking with Dinosaurs meets Monsterverse movie that takes place in Legendary's own version of Monster Island. Godzilla Grandpa, Godzilla vs. Gigan was so gory. Mothra Grandma. Yeah, you know, guys, I really do think, I really do think that Toho might give Legendary the rights for another, like, maybe 4 or 5, 6 films with Godzilla. I really do believe that because after seeing this, man, I cannot even imagine word being spread out about this movie and about how truly fantastic it really is. It'd be cool if the Monsterverse continues with movies involving the new Titans alone. No Godzilla or Kong, just them. That's what I'm talking about. Was I talking about that? No, I would really like to see like original kaiju, maybe even other Toho kaiju kind of taking the spotlight for a movie or two while Godzilla's kind of like, you know, hanging 10 in the back, just sleeping, chilling, doing whatever he's doing. There's a lot of open ground for that. And the ending of the movie really, like, it really breathes life into that idea of there being more stories to tell with more monsters, both new and original. There's a lot going on here with this movie. It sets up way more than I thought it would. That's another thing, Jay. The cinematography in this movie. I saw reviewers complain about the cinematography. Still don't know what the fuck these people was talking about at all because there are truly beautiful shots in this movie. Truly beautiful. Mountain Titan Boy, the movie. Dorets? I don't think so. With Toho expanding to the West, it was awesome, although with the hearsay being the objective is to make the movie every 2 years worries me. Let's worry about that. Let's cross that bridge when we get to it. If that is going to be Legendary's like recording, film, editing time, then so be it. But with how they gave us 2014 and then Kong Skull Island and now KOTM, it feels like a staircase. Excuse me. 2014 was at the bottom, Kong Skull Island is in the middle, and KOTM is kind of at the top there. Now, if we can get a step above KOTM, I would definitely say it being a combination of the first two films and KOTM into one movie, then that would truly be the perfectly ultimate Godzilla movie ever. Definitely. Honestly, I would like Kong and Godzilla to fight. Then they have to team up with some of the newer Titans to fight off a bigger threat. Most likely Destroya. Godzilla will die and Kong beats Destroya. I don't know, man. I don't know that end credits scene, man. That's all I'll say. I don't know. Any frame of KOTM is just worthy of a painting to me. It was just so wonderful to look at. Kaijumon 54, 2 different films. ShinRobjira was that deep, intellectual movie with a message and everything. KOTM, it's a monster romp. So yeah, it probably will blow you out of your seat, just not like Shin Godzilla. We will see. I don't want to make any predictions just yet. Although I wouldn't mind seeing Megalon, Orga, Biolante, Gigan. Wouldn't mind seeing more of them in the movies, but yeah. You really can't compare them. One's popcorn fun, one's a deep narrative. Exactly that. Shin Godzilla looked like a zombie because he was... Imagine being born of radiation. You're not going to look like an angel with that one. I liked it, though. I like Shin Godzilla's design. But anyway, I don't really like the new back spines. Like them more when they were like sharp spikes. I just can't come to like the new leaf design. How do you feel about the spines? I love the spines, the dorsal plates, because they're so akin to the original Godzilla's design. I don't have a problem with 2014's design, but these new dorsal plates, I definitely like them a lot more because they have that classic feel to it. I like the way that they light up when Godzilla's charging up his atomic breath. I think that looks really cool, especially with the spines being bigger. I mean, Shin, Mothra, and Rodan. Original vision for the 54 could be the reason why Shin Goji looks like so. Yeah, well, Shin Godzilla was based off of a lot of the original concept art from the 1954 movie, so, you know, that explains a lot, right? Right? Okay, we're getting off track here. I'm going to end this off right now with a couple more things to say, just to round everything up. I do not think the human characters were bad. I do not think they were soulless. I do not think that they were two-dimensional. I cared about the humans this time around. In 2014, it was kind of here nor there with the humans. I just cared about Godzilla. In this movie, I cared about the humans, and I cared about Godzilla. The monster action was supreme. It was some of the best monster action I have seen in an extremely long time. The cinematography was beautiful. Bear McCreary's, oh God, how did I forget to talk about that before? His soundtrack is beautiful. It is perfect. It matches and it syncs up with this movie so very beautifully, so very well. So, oh man, the tracking for all of that was just great. The movie made me cry a couple of times for obvious reasons for those who have seen the movie. Definitely stay until the end credits because they're doing something. They are doing something all right. And I know I said I wouldn't give the film a score before, and I ended up giving it a score. But with my rating system, I would definitely give the movie a 4.5 out of 5. It's fun. I can't see myself hating this. I'm definitely going to pick up this movie when it comes out on Blu-ray, which is apparently on September 24th. Definitely going to be staking out Best Buy for that Steelbook edition. I love Godzilla King of the Monsters. It's everything I expected and more, and not a touch less. It's beautiful. And if you're a Godzilla fan, you need to go see this. Whether you end up liking it or not, I don't know where I was going with that comment whatsoever. Just go see this movie. I guarantee you will find something to love about it if you don't love all of it. Exoghost spoiled the movie? Who's Exoghost? What's going on here? Who's in my swamp spoiling the movie? Oh, was it not in the chat? Huh. Long live the king, guys. See ya, because I cut it. Well, hopefully with that Blu-ray, we will get everything we missed. But yeah, good night, everybody. It is 2:22 in the a.m. I want to go sleep. I will be talking about the movie more next week. Spoiler discussion stream probably next Tuesday. Next Tuesday. We'll do it next Tuesday. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining in. Have a lovely night. Long live the fucking king. Yes!